We people are prone to fall into the trap of chasing love. Chasing romance often turns into an exhausting and sometimes desperate activity. But what if there is a better approach to relationships? What if you could find happiness and satisfaction without chasing someone's attachment? The search for understanding leads us to the eternal wisdom of Stoicism, a philosophy that will help to preserve the coolness of blood, gain perspective, and establish respectful relationships. Stoicism, an ancient Greek philosophy, offers a basis for life, guided by reason, virtue, and self-control. It has withstood the trials of time, thanks to its applicability to various aspects of life, including relationships. In this video, we will consistently consider how the teaching of Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, can inspire us to rethink our approach to love, relationships, and the pursuit of happiness. Understanding the pursuit. To understand why the pursuit of love may not be the best approach, let's first look at the psychology underlying it. Many of us feel forced to run after love because of the pressure of society, evolutionary instincts, or personal insecurity. Society often glorifies the idea of a tireless hunter who tirelessly pursues the object of his attachment. This glorification can lead to what we will think, as if we must constantly prove our rightness by extravagant manifestations of attachment, tireless pursuit, and even manipulation. But Stoicism teaches us to take a step back, pause, and reflect on the consequences of our actions. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, spoke a lot about desire and aspirations. In his thoughts, he wrote, "Do not despise death, but welcome it, for nature wants it like everything else." In the context of the pursuit of love, this can be interpreted as a reminder that we must accept the natural course of events and not force them. Desperation and tireless pursuit often lead to undesirable consequences, including a decrease in self-esteem, tense relationships, and unfulfilled desires. The Stoic path to pleasure. In Stoicism, the ultimate goal is not to chase external objects such as love, but to cultivate inner strength and resilience. Concentrating on what is subordinate to us, we can find satisfaction and happiness regardless of external circumstances. This philosophy encourages us to switch our attention from attempts to change other people or the environment to transforming ourselves. Marcus Aurelius, an unsurpassed Stoic, gives priceless instructions on this path of inner transformation. He urges us not to waste time arguing about what a good person should be like. Be yourself. In the context of relationships, this means becoming the best version of yourself and not trying to sculpt a perfect partner out of someone else. Instead of chasing love, focus on self-improvement, refinement of your character, and becoming a kind and honest person. Stoicism, kindness in relationships. Stoicism emphasizes kindness, life in accordance with reason and moral principles. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. This principle is especially relevant when it comes to relationships. Instead of chasing love, try to cultivate kindness in yourself. Practice wisdom, justice, courage, and self-discipline. These virtues will not only make you better, but will also enhance your attractiveness to potential partners. Instead of chasing love, let it attract you with the qualities that cultivate a kind life. Self-control. One of the key teachings of Stoicism is the importance of self-control. The ability to control one's desires and emotions is the central condition of Stoic life. It is very important to refrain from chasing love out of impulse, need, or momentary satisfaction. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You are in control of your mind, not of external events. Realize this, and you will gain strength." In the context of relationships, this means recognizing that we can control our reactions and emotions, even if we cannot control the actions or feelings of other people. By practicing self-control, we will be able to maintain self-control and emotional stability, which is extremely important in any relationship. Respect for independence. Chasing love often leads to ignoring the independence and desires of another person, since the main attention is paid to our own needs and desires. Stoicism, on the other hand, teaches us to respect the independence and individuality of other people. Marcus Aurelius writes in his Meditations, Everything that is right for me is right for you, O universe. Nothing for me is too early or too late, which comes in due time for you. This thought reminds us that we are part of the great cosmic order, and our desires must conform to this order. Instead of chasing love, we must respect the choice and boundaries of other people. Art of patience. In the pursuit of love, impatience can become a serious obstacle. The desire for instant satisfaction often leads to impulsive actions and thoughtless decisions. Stoicism propagandizes patience, reminding us that some things are worth waiting for. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the main thing is to communicate only with those who cheer you up, whose presence awakens in you the best qualities. Instead of impulsively pursuing love, be patient and give time to reveal the true nature of your compatibility and connection. Refusal in Stoicism. Refusal is a common and often painful experience in the world of acquaintances and relationships. Many of us perceive refusal as a blow to self-esteem, which leads to anger, sadness, and disappointment. Stoicism offers a different view of refusal. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Refuse the feeling of trauma, and the trauma itself will disappear." This Stoic teaching urges us to rethink refusal. Instead of perceiving it as a failure or an obstacle to your self-esteem, consider it as an opportunity for growth and self-improvement. Refusal does not determine your value as a person. It is just a part of the natural course of life. The importance of perspective. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of maintaining a rational and balanced view of life's challenges and victories. In the field of relationships, this means that you do not need to associate your happiness with the results of love. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, think about what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." Such a point of view reminds us that life is a gift, and our happiness should not depend on external factors. Instead of chasing love as a means of achieving your goal, find happiness in the present moment and in the relationships you already have. Building meaningful relationships. Stoicism teaches us that the most significant and strong relationships arise on the basis of sincerity and mutual respect. Instead of chasing love, strive to build sincere and deep relationships. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not waste more time arguing about what a good person should be like." In the context of relationships, this means being true and sincere in communicating with other people. Be the best version of yourself, and you will naturally attract those who appreciate and value you for who you are. Freedom from attachment. One of the main teachings of Stoicism is the idea of freedom from attachment to external things. This concept is especially relevant for relationships. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike the one who has offended." In the context of relationships, this means looking for revenge. Facing rejection or disappointment is a non-Stoic way. Instead, practice freedom from attachment. Let go of the need for approval from the outside and find strength in self-sufficiency. The Stoic approach to love. Stoicism offers a unique view of love and relationships. It urges us to cultivate love, which is benevolent, selfless, and long-lasting. According to Marcus Aurelius, the best way to take revenge is not to be like that. In the context of love, this means rising above small games and dramas, which are often associated with dates and relationships. Instead of striving for revenge or manipulation, practice love based on respect, understanding, and selflessness. Stoicism in practice. Now that we have studied the Stoic principles that will help us give up the pursuit of love and move on to more complete relationships, let's take a look at the practical steps to implement these teachings into our lives. Step number 1. Self-analysis. Start by devoting time to self-analysis. This practice is a cornerstone of Stoicism and is necessary for understanding one's own motives, desires, and weaknesses. Spend time thinking about your past relationships and finding out the patterns. Why were they successful or unsuccessful? What were your expectations, and how did they affect the result? Understanding one's own thinking processes and emotions will help you make more rational decisions in the future. Step number 2. Practice self-improvement. As Marcus Aurelius advised, do not waste time arguing about what a good person should be like. Become one. Send your energy to self-improvement. Work to become the best version of yourself, not to impress others, but to live with kindness and inner strength. Step number 3. Develop patience. Impatience often drives us to hasty decisions and actions. To overcome this, practice patience in all aspects of your life. Realize that the best comes to those who wait. Patience allows you to make more thoughtful and rational decisions, especially in the field of relationships. Step number 4. Cultivate gratitude. In the pursuit of love, it is easy to focus on what you lack, not on what you have. Change your point of view by practicing gratitude. As Marcus Aurelius emphasized, you don't need much for a happy life. Everything is inside you, in your way of thinking. Spend time thinking about what you are grateful for every day. This practice will help you find satisfaction in yourself and reduce the need to pursue external confirmation. Step number 5. Respect independence. When communicating with other people, always respect their independence and choice. It is very important to recognize that each person has their own desires and ways of life. Instead of trying to convince someone or make them obey your wishes, respect their individuality. If a person is not interested in you, move on politely and without offense. Step number 6. Rethink refusal. As we have already said, refusal is a part of life, and it does not determine your value. When you face refusal, practice a static way of thinking, considering it as an opportunity for growth. Use it as a chance to strengthen your resilience and self-control. Rejection does not reflect your character or value as a person. This is just a circumstance that can help you learn and improve. Step number 7. Create meaningful relationships. Switch your attention from the search for love to the creation of meaningful relationships. Approach each interaction with sincerity and respect. Be sincere and show interest in the person you are communicating with. Creating a strong foundation based on mutual respect and understanding will lead to more satisfactory and long-term relationships. Step number 8. Let go of external approval. Stoicism teaches us that it is important to find confirmation within yourself and not to look for it in external sources. Free yourself from the need for constant approval or attention. Step number 9. Practice emotional control. Develop the ability to control your emotions and reactions. Stoicism gives great importance to maintaining self-control and rationality even in difficult situations. When it comes to relationships, emotional control is the most important thing. Step number 10. Strive for benevolent love. Accept the Stoic idea of benevolent love. This means that love should be based on wisdom, justice, courage, and self-discipline. Set a goal in front of you to develop love, which is based on respect, selflessness, and moral principles, and not on a pursuit for fleeting pleasures. A Stoic view of long-term relationships. While we have seen how Stoicism can help us to give up the pursuit for love and move on to a more balanced approach to acquaintances, it is worth considering how these practices can form long-term relationships. In the end, successful long-term relationships require adherence to the same Stoic principles that we have discussed so far. Step number 11. Accept benevolence. In Stoicism, benevolence is the basis of a good life. To apply it in long-term relationships, make sure that in your actions and decisions, you are guided by wisdom, justice, courage, and self-discipline. The goal is to be a benevolent partner and strive for the same benevolent character in your partner. Keep self-control. Self-control is necessary not only during care but also throughout all long-term relationships. Your ability to manage emotions, especially during conflicts and problems, is vitally important. Stoicism teaches you to take a step back, rationally assess the situation, and react to it with self-control, and not impulsively. Be patient. Long-term relationships inevitably involve problems and difficulties. Stoicism emphasizes that patience is benevolence. You must accept that not everyone will go as you want, and it may take time to solve some issues. Patience will allow you to overcome the storm and assess the process of developing your relationships. Respect autonomy. Just as you respect the autonomy of other people in striving for relationships, continue to respect the autonomy and individuality of your partner in long-term relationships. Healthy relationships are based on mutual respect and support for each other's choice and life path. Manage rejection gracefully. Even in long-term relationships, rejection can take various forms, such as disagreement, differences of opinion, or changes in feelings. Stoicism urges you to gracefully relate to rejections and failures, using them as an opportunity for personal growth and improvement, both individually and in pairs. Continue to build meaningful relationships. As your relationships develop, continue to build them on the foundation of meaningful relationships, open and honest communication, shared values, and mutual respect, cornerstones of healthy long-term relationships. Strive to ensure that the partnership remains sincere and full-fledged for a long time. Find satisfaction within yourself. Stoicism teaches that true satisfaction comes from within, regardless of external circumstances. In long-term relationships, this means that you should not count on your partner to provide you with constant happiness or satisfaction. Instead, continue to cultivate pleasure within yourself and share this feeling of inner peace with your partner. Accept Stoic love. In long-term relationships, Stoicism urges you to practice what we can call Stoic love. This type of love is characterized by self-denial, understanding, and aspiration for the well-being of your partner. This is love that goes beyond simple desire and is aimed at improving the lives of both people. Continue to control your emotions. The ability to control your emotions remains paramount in long-term relationships. Although at the initial stages of a relationship it can be filled with passion, a long period of time will test your emotional stability. Stoicism gives you tools to maintain self-control and rationality, even in conditions of complex dynamics of relationships. The Stoic principles that we have learned will become invaluable guidance for us to maintain full-fledged, respectful, and strong partner relationships. The teaching of Marcus Aurelius emphasizes the importance of kindness, self-control, patience, respect, and emotional calm. Implement these Stoic ideals in your everyday life to create strong relationships based on mutual growth, respect, and deep connection. In this way, we will not only avoid the need to pursue fleeting desires, but will also build relationships that bring long-term joy and satisfaction. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." By applying these Stoic teachings, we will be able to create full-fledged, strong, and benevolent long-term relationships in which we will find happiness inside ourselves and share it with our partner. Stay stoic and see you soon.